Hello and welcome back to NewtyGuitars. Thanks for tuning in today. Today we're going to be talking about the new Jackson Brandon Ellis Pro Plus Signature Kelly KE27 and some of the more interesting things that it has on it. So let's get into it. Brandon Ellis is known for being a guitarist of Black Dahlia Murder. I think he was in Cannabis Corpse as well. But also more recently, he filled in on the Cannibal Corpse tour, playing a 7-string custom Kelly. Some of you may remember a few years ago that he had his 27 fret custom shop made, and that has now been turned into a production series model. And it's a pretty interesting guitar. So let's have a little look at it. So we've got that traditional Kelly shape, sort of like an offset kind of X shape. I absolutely love it. I've got two Kellys, an older made in Japan flame top green, and I've also got the Loomis Kelly. Very comfortable to play, very well balanced, and absolutely really cool guitars. What I like about this one is it kind of takes his old signature model, the green Crackle, which I'll put up somewhere, and kind of builds on it. So it's not just the same model again in a different color. It's got different pickups, bridge, and a few other things here as well. What I absolutely love about that is the maple fretboard. Love myself a maple fretboard. I've got 3 or 4 with them. I think they look really classy. I actually kind of prefer them to darker woods. I just like the feel of them. I like the sound of them. But what's cool about this one is the shark fin inlays are reversed halfway through at the 12th fret. And watching the video where he introduces it on the Jackson Guitars YouTube, is that for the riffing you've got the markers with the frets markers going this way, so they're like a target for your hand is what he said. But then when you're on the other side, it kind of makes it a little bit easier to see. And a couple of other guitarists have done this as well, doing like offset dots or something similar. So the Angel Vivaldi signature comes to mind with the cascading dots as well. And on the 12th fret we've almost got like a shark eye sort of block inlay, which is pretty sweet. But we have to talk about this gold black Crackle. I myself love a Crackle finish. I think they look absolutely amazing, like really kind of 80s and sort of over the top, and there's some great colours out there. But this one, it just kind of looks really high end, almost like a marble effect. And I think it just works really well with the maple on there as well. Now with the 27 frets, this is kind of more of a soloing thing. So I think that when Brandon first did his 27th fret, because he was in Black Dahlia mode and they tuned down to C, in an almost Spinal Tap kind of thing, he just wanted to go that bit higher. So if you're in standard tuning E to E, that 27th fret will be a top G. So with that, just that couple of extra notes just gives you a little bit more wiggle room. I think it'd be a very particular kind of guitarist that would really get the benefit from it. But if you're that sort of leads player that's down tuned, then getting a little bit higher can just make those melodies just soar a little bit more, I think. And of course with that, with the angled fretboard as well, you've got a I think it's a Seymour Duncan, yeah, stack 1 single coil in the neck. Now with these pickups, we've got his signature Dryad parallel access model. But what's cool about these is that you've got the gold detailing on them as well. So you've got the gold bobbins, the gold logo ties in really nicely with the Crackle. And a couple of other things are a little bit different. You've got a push-pull on the volume, which changes the bridge humbucker from parallel to series. I don't really know enough about electronics to do that. I've seen this done on a couple of other guitars where you can flick a switch and it changes the electronics from a parallel circuit to a series circuit and then back again. I imagine it has something to do with tone and how it actually sounds, but if you know more about this kind of thing than I do, please comment down below. I'd love to actually learn about that a little bit more. Some of the stuff is pretty standard you've got on a Jackson. So you've got the reverse headstock, which he had on his previous model. You've got the compound radius, so it makes it easier for riffing at one end and then soloing at the other, where it's just that little bit flatter, rather than kind of compromising a little bit too much and having either being too flat or too rounded. Personally, I quite like that. I don't like fretboards that are too curved. So essentially with that, the lower the number, if you're unaware, the more rounded the fretboard is. So if you take something like a Fender Tele, that's going to have quite a round radius. It's going to be like 9.5, so it's quite curved. Whereas if you think about some more tech-based guitars, so maybe, I don't know, a Legato, a Mishima Juggernaut, they're always going to be a lot flatter to make it easier for soloing and stuff. What is also a little bit different on this is that typically Jackson will give a Floyd Rose 1000 or 1500 series on these models, but this has actually got a Goto 1996T, which is a pretty good tremolo by all accounts. I've never had the chance to play one, mainly because all my guitars either came with Floyd Rose Specials or 1000 series, but I have heard good reviews about it. They actually put these on the MJ series, I think it was, a few years ago. So this is a little bit different on there. To be honest, I'm surprised that they didn't actually put his own preferred bridge on it, because he's using, or he was using, a different company's bridge. I'll look it up and I'll put it down here if I can find the information. It's from an old gear rundown video, but there might have been production reasons for that. Couldn't get hold of enough of them, that sort of thing on there as well. Maybe too costly, or maybe he's moved on from that, I don't know. Interestingly, it's got a different scale length as well. So nearly every Jackson has a standard Fender scale length of 25.5 inches, which is the distance from the nut to the bridge. This one is slightly shorter, 25.1. So not quite a PRS scale, a little bit longer than a Gibson style. I think for this, in the video, it was mentioned that it's more for bends, and yeah, if you've got a shorter scale length, the strings feel a little bit slinkier, so things like legato are kind of a little bit easier. And then with the wide vibrato and bends that brand is kind of known for, you can get that really wide sort of 80s vibrato on there, because with the strings being slightly slacker, there's more room to maneuver on there as well. Other standard stuff like your dual locking strap buttons from Dunlop, stainless steel frets, which is common on all the Pro Plus series signatures. But yeah, I think that with this, it's kind of very much a metal guitar, but it's just a really classy looking thing. I'd love to give a go on it and see. So Jackson, if you're watching, maybe send me one. Don't think that'll ever happen. I think it's really well thought out. Everything all kind of ties in together with the gold hardware, the gold crackle, the maple, and the gold bobbins on the pickups. It's just absolutely very, very nice guitar, and I think it's definitely a step up from the green crackle that he was released a few years ago. I think it looks like much more like a premium guitar. in the UK and Europe, these sort of retail around about €1,500, about £1,800. And I think that actually, considering that it's a proper signature guitar where you've got things like a specific bridge, a specific scale length, custom electronics, I think that actually that's probably quite good value on there as well. And it comes with a gig bag as well. I don't know if it's like one of the soft core foam core fitted ones. I think it might be a literal gig bag. Perhaps a more solid one would have been nice, but again, that's just going to push the price up really for production costs. There you go, quick rundown of the new Brandon Ellis KE27 Pro Plus Series signature. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.